Alright guys, welcome to the final day of the WWE 2K14 30 Years of WrestleMania mode match reveal, this time focusing on the Universe era. You can find a full list of all the matches included in the video description along with a link to the screenshots, but let's jump straight in with WrestleMania 25 and the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship featuring John Cena, Edge and The Big Show, with John Cena showing his strength as he performs one of this year's new OMG moments, the two-man attitude adjustment to The Big Show and Edge. All three of these guys come complete with new attires, as Edge now has his rated R tights instead of the grey camouflage pants that he had at WrestleMania 22, with Big Show having his black singlet with a single strap, which is different to the two-strap camouflage singlet that was seen at the roster reveal. Then there's also Cena, who has updated blue wristbands with the Hustle, Loyalty, Respect logos, and you'll also notice a few "You Can't See Me" foam fingers in the crowd, along with a few Cena haters. Staying with WrestleMania 25, and we see Randy Orton taking on Triple H in the main event for the WWE Championship. Now, before I comment on this, I want to skip back to yesterday's screenshot of Orton, as I was a little pushed for time so I didn't really cover Orton's attire, but a lot of people were discussing it in the comments, as he does have his old tattoos from before he got full sleeves done, and he also has a beard like his recent model, which he didn't have at the time. Something that, switching back to the new screenshot, he also has here, but he didn't actually have in this match, as he was also clean shaven. Aside from the beard, if you look at his right forearm, you can also see that his attire has been updated for this match, as he now comes with his full sleeve tattoo and also black and blue trunks. As for Triple H, his model appears to be the same as it was in yesterday's screenshot, and things just seem to be going from bad to worse for this poor guy. Moving on to WrestleMania 26, and we see John Cena taking on Batista for the WWE Championship, both having updated attires, as Batista now has a full new model that includes his shaven head, new tattoos and trunks, while Cena has updated orange C Nation wrist and armbands. Aside from that, we also have a new crowd shirt for Alberto Del Rio, and we get our first glimpse of the WrestleMania 26 stage, which looks great, but you'll see it much clearer in this next shot. So as you can see here, the stage looks really good, with the WrestleMania logo in the centre and then Titantrons above it and on each side, with the VIP boxes also visible on the left. And of course there's a match going on as Chris Jericho defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Edge. Looking at these attires, neither are the ones that were actually worn at this event, as Edge has the same attire he wore for his WrestleMania 25 match, and Jericho has his WWE 13 attire. Aside from that, the codebreaker shown here looks to be one of the new catapult finishers, which is probably one of the objectives for this match, as the match included a spot where Edge went for a spear but Jericho countered it into a codebreaker, so the catapult finisher should work well to recreate that. Once again, staying with WrestleMania 26, and we'll have the main event match that sees Shawn Michaels put his career on the line as he attempts to break the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. The screenshot itself mirrors the one that was seen yesterday of Michaels hitting a moonsault off the apron in his WrestleMania 23 match with John Cena. This time though, it's performed off the top of the turnbuckle, with Michaels landing on the announce table and putting Taker through it. Speaking of Taker, this is the first of his more recent long-haired attires, which features the Winged Demon logo on the tights, with Michaels having another new attire, which is the one that was first seen in the debut trailer against the Macho Man. Moving on to WrestleMania 27, and we'll have the 2011 Royal Rumble winner Alberto Del Rio taking on Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship in what would prove to be Edge's last match before his retirement. Looking at Edge's attire, this looks to be a new texture which is much higher resolution, but it's interesting to point out that this is the same attire that Edge wore for his match with Jericho at WrestleMania 26, so it's surprising that 2K didn't just use this design for that match and change the colour of the tights to red. As for Del Rio, his attire is the same as last year, just with a few colour changes to give him the opposite of what he had, so his trunks have gone from white to gold, as have his knee pads, while his boots have gone the other way from gold to white. Next we'll have this awesome screenshot as The Miz makes his way to the ring to defend the WWE Championship against John Cena, with the giant inflatable awesome text in the background, something that I'm guessing will be available to use as a prop in Create an Entrance this year, as that's something that was mentioned in the achievement list, so it's cool to see that that's in there, and it'll be interesting to see which other props we'll have. As for The Miz, his attire looks really good and accurate, with his entrance attire also included, but the title still seems to awkwardly hover over his shoulder, and there's no sign of Alex Riley, who accompanied Miz to ringside for this match, so there's still a chance that he might not make the roster after he was also left out last year. WrestleMania 28 is up next, and we finally get to see a glimpse of CM Punk as he does battle with Chris Jericho to determine who truly is the best in the world. As for the attires, they definitely aren't the best in the world, as Punk's model looks unfinished as it's missing the red and gold kick pads, while Jericho, like in his match with Edge, doesn't have his correct attire and instead has a red variation of his attire from last year instead of the best in the world trunks that he wore for this match. In terms of the stage, this looks to be pretty similar to how it was last year, but you'll notice a few small plants have been added to the area behind the crowd at either side of the ramp. Also, if you want to relive this match, WWE have uploaded the entire match over on their channel, so I'll put a link in the video description if you want to check that out. Staying with WrestleMania 28, I'm going to have this screenshot, which is actually an old one that was released last month when 2K confirmed the once in a lifetime match between John Cena and The Rock at WrestleMania 28. So with this being an old screenshot, if the screens from the other matches were taken at the same time, then I would expect to see some of the unfinished or wrong attires being updated in time for the release. As for this shot, this comes from the conclusion of the match, with Cena, who has slightly darker shorts this time around in green bands, collecting his thoughts on the entrance ramp while The Rock celebrates on the turnbuckle. The Rock's attire here is the first of his current era attires, with this attire featuring a beard and his tribal tattoo, which is now completed since the last time we've seen his old model at WrestleMania 19. Moving on to the main event of WrestleMania 28, and we'll have the end of an era Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and The Undertaker, with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee, complete with a referee shirt this time, something that hopefully we'll see other superstars wear during special guest referee matches this year, although to me this kind of looks more like Shawn's earlier model than his recent one. In terms of the competitors, Triple H has a new attire for this match, with his trunks updated to show the ones that he wore at the event, while The Undertaker has his current model with his short hair and the Undertaker logo on his tights, as Triple H lays into him with a steel chair in a cutscene that takes place during this match. Moving on to WrestleMania 29, and once in a lifetime becomes twice in a lifetime, as John Cena gets his rematch with The Rock, who is now clean shaven, whilst John Cena now has his current attire with his 10 years strong wristbands and cargo shorts. Apart from that, there's not a lot else to point out here except for the pillar that you can see behind the barricade and a few crowd shirts for the current day guys such as Cody Rhodes, but most of these I've already covered in past videos and there's none that would appear to confirm anyone that we aren't already expecting to be in the game. Switching to the second match of WrestleMania 29, and we'll have CM Punk taking on The Undertaker as the best in the world goes up against the Streak, with Taker applying the Hell's Gate to Punk. Personally, the build-up of this match was one of my favourites because of the way that they worked in the death of Paul Bearer, which some people might agree with and others might think was wrong as it disrespected his memory, but it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing in the opening promo for the match, and then hopefully there's some sort of tribute included. As for the screenshot though, Taker looks to have the same model from WrestleMania 28, while CM Punk's attire is at least finished this time, and it includes the kick pads that were missing earlier, with the black, grey and purple colours in what I would say is a tribute to Taker's classic attire. Apart from that, Punk also has short hair, and you can see that the Cobra Command tattoo on Punk's right arm is again edited, just like it was last year, but there's no sign here of Paul Heyman, who was at ringside for this match, including the next one. Finally, Brock Lesnar takes on Triple H, who also has Shawn Michaels in his corner, in a no-holds-barred match with Triple H's career on the line. First off, you'll notice that the new Triple H model has new short hair, which should also feature updated trunks for this match. Meanwhile, Brock's model looks to be the same as it was last year, again missing the logos from his shorts due to them being copyrighted. Also missing from this screenshot is the top turnbuckle pad, which wasn't actually removed at the end of their match when I rewatched it, but it might have been something that I missed. Hopefully though, the way that the steel steps were used at the conclusion of this match, then 2K may have added in some new weapon finishers for them, or maybe we'll just get a cutscene that sees the pedigree on the steps. Either way, that brings us to the end of the Universe Era matches and all the matches announced for the mode, but there's still rumours of an off-script section, so we may still see some extra matches added to that. But now we'll have a full list of matches for each era, so let me know what you think of the choices below, and don't forget to tune in to Raw this coming Monday for the reveal of the entire 2K14 roster, which I'll then recap on Tuesday. So thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll catch you next time for more WWE 2K14 news.